All right, the following is a tutorial slash demo on how to use and get the most out of the HTS Hero Explorer, which gives you a couple of ways to find or verify HTS codes that you might have for a product you're importing to the United States. And so probably the quickest way to find what you're looking for is to just come to the search tab and type it in. So in this case, let's say we're looking for mangoes. You would type it in, and very quickly you get a couple of results. Let's just say we want the first one. You'll see here when we click on that, it pre-populates sort of breadcrumbs, and these are all of the elements you'd have to click through manually to get through to this point where you find this descriptor called mangoes. And so if we jump up one level, it's talking about what period these mangoes might have entered into the US. If we go up one more level, it's talking about is it a fresh mango, the level above that, so on and so forth, up until you get all the way back up to the sections themselves. So search lets you go directly to find what you're looking for, but sometimes you might not have a direct text match for what you're looking for or something really even close. And it might make more sense to just search for the code by starting at a very high level, thinking about at a high level what you're looking for. And so in this case, if you were looking for that same example, let's say the mangoes, maybe, I know this from experience, but maybe you would think, it's kind of vegetable products. So let's start with that section. Okay, and then within that section, there's a couple of chapters, and edible fruits and nuts sounds like a good fit. And then within that, we've got dates, figs, pineapples, and mangoes here, fresh mangoes entered during this time period, and mangoes. Now let's say you get to this point of your search and you're stumped as to whether or not your mangoes are organic wherever you are importing them from. What you can do really quickly is access the notes for this chapter. And usually there'll be some details about any given chapter, in this case the fruits and nuts chapter, that help you get clarity on sort of different elements about an HTS code. In this case, if we scroll down, there is a statistical note that says for a list of approved standards for certified organic, so what makes something organic, see General Statistical Note 6. So you'd go, okay, in order to make this next decision as to whether or not the mangoes are organic, I need to go see General Note 6. So I would come here to the notes, which has all the different notes for different trade agreements and so on, and I would come all the way down to the statistical notes, and I believe it was statistical note 6, so let's just scroll down to 6. And yes, we find here, for the purposes of the tariff schedule, the expression certified organic essentially means that it is any one of these things, or it's been certified by any one of these regulations, the USDA, European Union regulations. And so if your mangoes were cleared or certified under any of these regulations, you'd know that they were certified organic. And you can quickly close those notes, jump back to your codes and go, yep, actually they are USDA organic, and off you go. You've got your final HTS code that you found. There's no more options to click through, and there you go. So this was a bit of a high level how to use the Explorer. You can find any supplementary notes pretty quickly. You can go one by one through each level of the classification if you don't know exactly what you're looking for or you can't find it via the direct search. And we can just go back all the way up to the top just to show you again. For that example, vegetable products in one level, one more level, mangoes, fresh mangoes, entered during this time period, and yes, they're organic. Whereas you could have, again, just come to the search, typed in mangoes, and off you go. It would have been this one. That's all. Hopefully that's helpful and helps you find the HTS code or the notes that help you certify a given HTS code. And if you've got any questions, drop them below. Take care.